Hi everyone. Well, that rain cloud was trying to ruin my my swimming, but I got 2 hours in. Rocking out to some Duran Duran, but I want you guys to see these petroglyph sites from when the, make sure I got this all the way off. Okay. Look how beautiful it is. You can see the sunset so beautiful. We're up at the highest point. And when I go out of here, I'm going to take a video of the road going out. Look there, right there. That's the main highway. That's not even part of the park. Look here, the petroglyphs. Prehistoric people left examples of rock carvings in many locations in the state. Most of these are in the central, eastern portion of the state where rock outcroppings are more common. These petroglyphs were chipped, pecked, and ground into these exposed sections of dolomite above the big river sometime between 500 and 2,000 years ago, which this sign's been up for a while, so it's probably even longer. These petroglyphs have been assigned to this time period based on the presence of symbols that occur only during that period, such as bilibid arrows and ceremonial maces. Archaeologists have no way to accurately date petroglyphs, and their content is the only possible dating technique. At this time the carvings were made, American Indian people inhabited this part of Missouri. They hunted animals and gathered plants for food. They probably raised crops, I'm sure they did, such as corn, but they called it maize, beans and squash at village sites along the big river. Long before Europeans arrived here, artists gathered at these stone outcroppings and created these images in the rocks. And here's where I am, and we're going to go back to the petroglyphs. Here's the rock carvings, rituals. Little is known about the purpose of the petroglyphs. They are not a form of writing and cannot be translated. These figures may have been produced as a part of either a personal or group ritual designed to influence events in the natural world in which the Native American people lived and on which they relied for their survival. Hunting. I love these pictures on here. Dreams, fertility, and legends. Some of these carvings may have been a record of symbolism such as that experienced in dreams produced by fasting. This was an integral part of the Native American spiritual life. Some may have had a place in fertility rites concerned with the continuation of the carvers' families and the natural world. Then there's carvings of animals and animal tracks that have been a part of the ritual of the hunters. Many of the petroglyph sites have animals and other forms that are easy to recognize, like this. This is what it looks like back there. And then because it's frail, because it's so old, it doesn't even look the same as it did like when my kids were little and we would come up here. But this is the highest point in this park. Usually they have it cut down more, but I guess because of the wildflowers they're trying to maintain it. See, there's the carvings in the stone. The formations, I should say. I think it's pretty cool. I love this park. I just drove up to see if the pool was open because it kept telling me it wasn't, but I mean, it's after Labor Day, so of course it's closed now. And check out the campsites. They have a separate entrance for the campers and stuff to go because the road coming in here is so narrow, hardly 2 cars can get down it. And now you can't even get to where you can get close to the petroglyphs. They've changed it. It's been a while since I've been up here. You can hardly even see it anymore. Oh, here we are. Okay. See, it's so washed out now. 20 years ago. See, you can see some of the carvings in there. This is the mighty Thunderbird. The Thunderbird sends his bolts of lightning by small birds. A solid line interspersed with arrowheads denotes lightning carried by the small bird just above the left wing. Another small bird ready to carry another bolt of lightning is held in the left foot. So that's what the carving did look like. That's the picture of it. And it was in here. But as you can see, like you can see right there, here's the thunderbirds, the talking thunderbirds and group of small thunderbirds. It's just getting to where you can't see as much as you used to be able to, and that's why they've got this up now so people won't get down there and get on them stones. My alarm's going off to set for my class. Oh, here's one. Look at this one though. It lasted. Fertility and rain. The great number of oval-shaped female fertility symbols probably indicates the great desire for fertility of crops, game animals, and people. The coiled rattlesnake and thunderbirds are rain symbols. See, you can see these ones a lot better. Look at this. Must have been some very fertile land back then. There's a lot of farms around here, but that's about it. All right, here's the hunting one, the hunting magic. The turkey tracks, animal skins, and animal and bird representations may have been magical means of assuring a good hunting trip. It wasn't magical means, it was their way of living a spiritual life. The square represents a house and may be the symbol for the hunting camp. So you can hardly see it now. See the little tracks? And none of this was made by anyone in recent years. This was here long before that. See those little carvings in there? This used to be so much, even 20 years ago you could see it so much more vivid. Look, that almost looks like a little anchor right there. Or a little face, a little smile face. There are a few little tracks there. And it almost looks like a track of like a bear, a small bear right there. Because they've got them long claws on there. This is just some of the formations of the petroglyphs. So this one would make sense because it's facing towards the sun when it sets. This is the sunburst and mace. In the center of this group is a sunburst connected to a human figure and a fertility symbol. Left of it is an arrow and a mace. The sun was revered by the Native Americans and the mace was a symbol of authority. So you can't see it as much anymore. You can see where it once was, but it's so hard to see it anymore. And there's one out there that looks like a little face out there. That must be the little human it was connected to, but you can see eyes and a nose and a mouth. Okay, so thunderbirds and fertility. The thunderbird was a symbol of rain, and rain brought with it, of course, the growth of crops and fertility. It is probably for this reason that the female fertility symbol is often found with rain symbols. You can barely see the little rain symbols anymore, but they were here. Look, you can see it more into the ground from where it's rained. But look, there's a line going down to where that rock formation is too, from the rain for fertility. So see, all the things that the Native Americans lived and preserved the land and made it a good place to be, and colonization had to ruin. Thunder and lightning. a series of thunderbirds and 2 lightning symbols. Now, everything that I have showed you on these pictures is what used to be where you could see it. See, you can kind of see a couple squares here, and look how it's eroded there. So it's kind of taken away, but that square up there, and then there were some more. All of those symbols were on these petroglyphs. And then you see the sun trying to set. It's got another hour before it's going to go down, and I don't think I'm going to stay here that long. But they even have this fence up now, so no one can get in there. It's so sad that everybody has to ruin everything. And then it's covered, but it still doesn't help it. And I forgot how close to Highway 21 I am, because the other entrance is right down that way, maybe a quarter of a mile. But I'm going out the entrance this way, because that other one gets RVs and stuff coming up it. And there was some people camping with some trailers, and the playground is right next to the campground. And then a little bit farther down is the pool. And I saw that they had all kinds of new umbrellas up, so they had to have opened this year. I should have just drove down and took the chance. Look, there's a subdivision right there. Now, when I was young, my grandma lived farther down 21. My great-grandma, the one who had a father that was Cherokee. Well, he was Cherokee, not that he was, but anyway, she lived down in Petrohlyphs, Missouri, and I'm not that far. And not too far from here, probably about 15 minutes, is the drive-in that I go to. It's just so weird. Look, someone tore down the fence. I guess they couldn't get in the park and they needed a place to sleep. But it's really beautiful here. I love coming up to this spot and watching the sunset. And it's a good place to meditate and just... Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my little tour. Hi, thank you for coming in. I love you guys. You have a great rest of your evening, and I hope you have a killer week, and it rocks. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I hope you have a really great rockin' week. Love you guys. Bye, and thank you.